the Lord wants. He wants us to just have that sole belief in his name and watch him go to work on our behalf. I think the scripture says, stand ye still and see the salvation of the Lord.
Yeah. Got it. That's right. Beautiful. Beautiful. You got that? 11:1. Yeah, 11:1.
This is Romans 11:1. I say then, have God cast away his people? God forbid.
Yeah. Nothing more with faith? No. Oh, it's like Hebrews 11. Not Romans. Hebrews 11. It's like it. You know, but ultimately that's why the main thing to push is faith. You know, because you number one, you have to know who you're having faith in. Okay, but then number two, you have to exercise that faith. And the beautiful thing, because if you notice, when you most of us, you came into the truth, you thought that was it. The second you found out that all hell was going to break loose, that's when all hell was going to break loose. But then you realize that's not the case. But eventually, you start to realize that it's actually to your benefit that that's not the case. Because if all hell broke loose the second you came into the truth, you probably would have gave in Jacob's troubles. Because you wouldn't have enough time to build up your faith. You know, the faith is a gift, but the Most High gives it, you know what I'm saying? He gives it, like the Apostle Paul said, as a gift, but you got to grow that, you know, and you grow it by growing your knowledge, not just in reading scriptures, but in your daily experiences. You know, sometimes brothers do testimonies of being delivered, you know, from calling on the name of the Lord, or from some situation that happened and you prayed and the Lord came through. These things build up your faith so that when you actually come to the time of testing, because what's going to be tested? Your faith. But if you never built up your faith, then when you're getting to the test, you're going to fail. It's not good enough to just know a test is coming. You need time to study for that test. That's why when your professor tells you, hey, the midterm is coming, they give you a heads up at least a week or two before the midterm to tell you, hey, the midterm is going to be 2 weeks from now. Start studying now. So when the Lord, you know, woke us up, he gave us enough time, you know, that grace period to say, look, this destruction is coming. I'm not going to tell you exactly when, but start preparing yourself now. Because when it comes, whatever you got is whatever you got. It's like when they say that the test is over, pencils down. Whatever's on that sheet is what you're getting graded on. You know? And so if you ain't built up your faith, if you spent your time, your grace period, you know, just chilling about like the foolish virgins, you're not getting the oil, you're just doing whatever, thinking you have time. When all hell breaks loose, you're gonna have nothing. You're gonna have watched a million videos, but if you never learned anything and you never actually took it seriously and you never grew, when it comes time to tap into that, there's gonna be nothing to tap into. Just fear.
I got precept.
Go ahead.
Colossians 1 verse 23. It says, and if ye continue in the faith, grounded and settled, and be not moved away from the hope of the gospel, which ye have heard, and which was preached to every creature which is under the heaven, whereof I Paul am made a minister. And when you go and like thinking about faith as being a seed planted, right, or a tree, if you plant that seed and the tree starts to blossom, or you know starts to build up, and then within the first day you pull it out, it's going to be easily be able to pull it out because it hasn't got enough roots in the ground to be established and firm. And that's the way that takes place is through the experience and through time. You know, that's why I think it's in 2 Peter where the Lord said that he's long suffering toward us all, that none of us, you know, basically so that all can be saved, right? And that's speaking about the elect. The Lord is really being long suffering for us, but when we are part of that number, so that when that time does come, we are rooted enough to be able to endure the trials and the tribulations that are going to come. Another precept, Colossians 2 verse 7 says, rooted and built up in him and established in faith. Okay, as ye have been taught, abounding therein with thanksgiving. So going back to the example with the roots, and once time passes and experience, and then you know I believe in Yahweh Shai spoke about it in the Luke 6th chapter. He that doeth his will is like him that is established, you know, a tree, and then when the winds blow, that he'll be firmly settled, because that is what's going to be needed in order to actually have the mindset to endure the things that we're talking about. What we're speaking about right now, we never actually experienced. We never been in situations where we didn't know how, you know, where we're going to get food from, or you know, lights out. We didn't have the ability to, you know, check our phones or use GPS to get to places. But at the end of it all, we know that hey, he is Yahweh Bashem Yahushua. He is, and I believe in Hebrews 11 chapter is going to say that. You know, you got to be a firm believer that he is. And in order to do that, you don't get that right away. You get built up. You go through experiences. You find the Lord proves that He is in the situation that you're in. See, right now, a lot of people got faith in this world in Esau's society, but it's crazy because it's like having faith in a woman that just keeps cheating on you. You're seeing this place crumble. You're seeing, oh, your phone just went out, the cyber attack. You're seeing different things are happening that shows that the society is collapsing, but yet you still got belief in it's not going to really collapse. Like a chick, you see your text DMing somebody, I'm going out late. You don't have proof she's seen, but all the signs are there. But nah, she won't do that to me. She still love me. She ain't gonna. She's showing you all the signs. The Lord is showing you all the signs that America is through, but I think it's still going to bounce back. Okay.
Yeah. I got that for you in 2 Peter.
Okay.
This is the book of 2 Peter, chapter 3, verse 9. It says, the Lord is not slack concerning his promise, as some men count slackness, but is long-suffering to usward, not willing that any should perish, but that all should come to repentance.
You go. He's not slack, man. And that's what a lot of people lose faith because they think that the Lord is, like that wicked servant, that he delayeth his coming. The Lord didn't delay his coming. He already declared the end from the beginning. The day is already set.
Right.
That's why Yahweh said even back then, no man knows the day, but there is a day.
Right, exactly.
There is a day that it's already been set.
Yep.
It's not like the Lord is writing the story out in real time. It's already been written. So he's not slack concerning his promise because as each day goes by, we're only getting closer and closer to that day. But he's being long suffering for usward because the Lord, even Yahweh said it. I wish that it was already kindled. But because I was in 2nd Esdras, right? It says he numbered the times and he measured it,
right, that
it can't be moved nor stirred. He said measures fulfilled. And all that is happening really for usward so that we can be established and rooted enough in the faith so that when all hell does break loose, we'll be like that strong tree that nothing can blow us off of that solid ground.
Right.
Got it.
One set. Yep. Got it.
Book of Jude 1:20. But ye, beloved, building up yourselves on your most holy faith, praying in the Holy Spirit, keep yourselves in the love of the Most High, which the love of the Most High is to keep his commandments, looking for the mercy of our Lord Yahweh Shai HaMashiach unto eternal life.
Hey, looking forward for the mercy of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai, because that's ultimately what this is all going to depend on, right? You can do all of this, but if the Most High doesn't have mercy on you, then that's it. You did all of it in vain. Well, I mean, I wouldn't even say in vain, right? Because the Most High can have you do all of this thinking you're going to gain salvation, when really he was just using you to bring others in. And then he's like, all right, you did your job. Now you can go somewhere. The Most High does that. And the scary part about it all is there's literally nothing in all of existence that you can do to sway the judgment of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai. Everything he does is because he wants to do it. It's not like the Lord picked me because he saw something in me. No, the Lord picked me because he wanted to pick me. And just as easily as that, he could have also not picked me. And that's the fearful thing about the Most High, which is that unpredictability. Like, we don't know the fullness of the mind of the Lord. We only know what he wants us to know, which is in the scriptures.
Job chapter 13, verse 15. Though he slay me, yet will I trust in him, but I will maintain my own ways before you. And that right there, the Lord can put you in a position to where he make you think that he's not dealing with you, or he made you think that he's going to destroy you. Just to see whether or not, he did it to Job, right? That's the whole story of Job, is that. But just to see whether or not you're still going to maintain your trust in him. At the end of the day, that's what it's really about. The Lord can push you literally to the edge of what you think is your faith and your trust. And you still got to maintain that trust in him all the way into the end. That's why Yahweh Shai said it. Be faithful until death. That's the last. Death should be the last point of your faith. Because after you die, it's over. You don't have. There's no faith to have anymore. There shouldn't be any other moment before that to where you lose faith. The last thing in your mind should be like how Stephen was. That's why you have these accounts, like how the 7 brothers in the Maccabees was. You have these accounts so that we can see aforetime how those righteous men were, And they got what? In the times that we're in now, they're honored. They were honored by their faith, as we're going to read back in Hebrews 11 chapter.
Yep. That's in the book.
Oh no, I was just gonna say according to like the little push to the limit with Abraham and Isaac.
Beautiful point. Yep. Yep. And that's a true definition of a servant. You know, because technically, when you're a servant, your condition is not based on whether your master is your friend or your enemy. Your job is just to serve them regardless, whatever they ask you to do. You know, so I mean, how many of you or how many of us would be able to just as easily serve the Most High if he became an adversary to you? You know, to where he started plaguing you like Job. Look, man, it's one thing to say something, but it's different to where you actually have a son and you grow that attachment to your son, and then hear the Most High tell you, "I need you to sacrifice it for me." Like that's a different kind of experience. You can read it and you can imagine but so much, but to actually be in that instance, and then the Most High tells you that for somebody that you love so much, that's when you realize, are you a true servant of the Lord or not? You know?
Hey, the Lord had Abraham actually put him up on the altar. He had him gather the fire, all that. Like it wasn't just like we walking up there. He's like, "Nah, I'm stop you now." Like he had him go through the whole process. Right about to have the knife out and all that. And at the last minute, he stopped him.
Oh man,
You were like to the point where Isaac was like, "Yo, what's the sacrifice at, right? Like, what you doing? What's going on?" But hey, that's what Abraham was considered a friend of the Most High, because at the end, and back in you got to read it, but he said that way. He had faith that the Lord could resurrect him. That hasn't been something. See, right now we know about resurrection. We know we have accounts of Lazarus and Yahushua and people being resurrected. Was it Elisha or was it Elijah? Elisha's bones. So we have accounts about people being resurrected, from the dead. Abraham never had that. Oh yeah, young damsel. She's not dead, but she's sleeping. So Abraham never had that. He never had no accounts of the Lord resurrecting somebody before. But he already had faith that the Lord can bring this person back to life. And that's why he said we gotta have the faith of Abraham. That's what it's accounted as righteousness, man.
You got it, bro. Oh, was that it?
No, I have something else, but you can go after this.
All right.
This is Hebrews 11:1. Now faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen.
Yeah, just like Zaquan just gave, right? The evidence of things not seen. So, like in Abraham's case, he hadn't seen or experienced that where the Most High is resurrecting somebody to where he can just say, "Look, the Lord can just do what he did 3 years ago for this person to me." But having faith is almost like having the proof that you don't have, and what substitutes that is the actual faith. You're like, "Yo, I'm gonna do this, that, and the third," or like Peter, I'm gonna walk on water. But what's your proof that if you step on this water, you're not gonna sink? Well, I just believe that I won't. It's not like you have some super gel under your foot that has been scientifically tested, and that's your proof. Faith is our proof.
Yeah, faith in just how should I tell him to do it? That's why he's so like, "Did you tell me to come and walk on the water?" That's it. He's like, "Come." He's like, "All right, that's it."
Yeah. And that's a very powerful thing. If you truly believe, it's a very powerful thing. But if you doubt, then it can be a very dangerous thing. Because faith can add that pseudo faith can get you in trouble. Because what if Yahushua was like, "Hey, well, you shouldn't have faith. Now you start drowning. Now you're gone." I see you back in the spirit world.
And Yahushua, he did reprove him. He said, "Oh, you have little faith."
Right. Yep. Hey, and going back to the point of growing your faith, that's why even though they were with Yahushua himself, it still took them 3 years to get on the level. Like they had to actually grow. They experienced that when Yahushua first came to them and they saw him and they believed he was the Messiah, right? Starting with Peter. What was that? Through faith. But the Lord had to nurture that until when they were nice and fully grown, he could lead them. So now where they were performing miracles and all of this.
For by it the elders obtained a good report.
Just like you were mentioning earlier. For by that faith, the elders obtained a good report. So we're able to look back and speak well and remember their accounts and even boost our faith because of the actions that they took through faith.
Hey, those elders are back too.
Yep.
Yep.
Yep. Hey, even the three holy children, you know, that took a lot of faith to know. I mean, you knew they were going. You knew the Book of Nebuchadnezzar wasn't joking around. You know, light up the fire. I'm fucking joking. Hell no. You know what I'm saying? And you know their faith was tested all along the way when the people who went to light up the furnace to open that joint got killed by the fire. Not like second or third degree burns. They got smoked. And Lord, he said, yeah, throw their asses in there. So that's faith, because up until that very moment, they could have changed their minds at any point. They could have been so scared to look like Belshazzar and stop. Hey, now you know what, you got it. Yeah, I'm gonna bow down. And some people are gonna do that.
Hey, or if they thought like, okay, I'm gonna have faith up until this point, right? It's like, all right, well, if the Lord ain't come down, I mean, he ain't gonna do it. So let me just like you once again until death. Yahweh Shai said, have to be faithful until death, and that's what they were. That's what they embodied. They embodied to the point of death. Like, hey, we know that if our God can save us from this, and if you don't, then we'd rather die.
Right. Yeah, that's that.
Hey, real quick, a prime example would be Daniel, right? Think about the trials and tribulations, but ultimately, the one thing that pushed him through it all was faith in Yahweh Shai. Think about it, like even putting it in today's terms, right? Let's say the decree finally comes down that nobody could pray to Yahweh Shai. That was what Daniel had to go through, right? But guess what? He kept on praying to the point where he was seen. They made a law. They decreed a law specifically because of what Daniel was doing. Like, that's crazy.
Hey, that's what they're doing now.
What happened?
I said that's what they're doing now, making laws specifically from what we're doing.
Exactly. So there's no new thing under the sun, right? But that's why Romans 15:4 is written, that everything written aforetime is written for our learning, that we through the patience and comfort of the scriptures might have. So it's always good to go back and read what our forefathers did, because there's the same spirits coming back here again, dealing with the same exact obstacles that we got to jump over, which ultimately the only way you can do that is through faith, right? Imagine, you know, they tell you can't pray to your God. There's a decree that says you can't pray to your God. You can't read the Bible out loud. You can't believe in Yahweh Shai. You can't do that. Well, guess what? Faith is going to be the one that's going to push us through, right? Thinking about, damn, what if I get caught? All right, well, you got caught believing on Yahweh Shai. Now that's a crime. Well, guess what? They're going to put you in prison. That's what they did with Daniel, right? He was thrown in the lions then. Now, how many men would be able to be facing something like that and still keep their faith and maintain their trust in Yahweh Shai? Right? So it takes a whole other level of faith to be able to endure something like that, a whole nation against you, right? You're like, you're looked down upon by the citizens of the society, and then they throw you guys to the lions. Then this time around, like it tells you in the teaching that some of us going to be cast into prison. We can't lose our faith, right? And when you see these devils and the kind of tactics that they use, the CIA, the FBI, when they get you, and they do the interrogations, they got something known as enhanced interrogation. It's not fun. You know what I'm saying? Like they waterboarding you, right? They twisting your arm, they beat you, breaking your nose, and they don't care. All because they want you to confess something. Sometimes the person might be innocent, and they'll beat you to a bloody pulp, to the point where you're like, some people will admit to things that they didn't even do because of all the trauma. You know what I'm saying? So imagine all that, all that, and having to stand on your ground, stand on that faith that you held about your shot, and knowing that he's gonna come and deliver you. You know what I'm saying? I remember I had a dream years ago that it happened to me where we got arrested, and they sent us in, and I was in this like a small little room, and the army general came in. You know what I'm saying? They beat me up like OD, and I was laying there, and they had tied me up and everything, and all I kept saying was, "Hey, how about you? I'm still here, Lord. I'm still here." And I kept hearing voices in my head saying, "Hey, how you doing? How you doing?" I said, "Lord, you know, in the flesh, I'm beat down, like I'm in pain, I'm suffering, but the spirit is still alive, you know." And I'm like, "Lord, if they're gonna take me out right now, just give me one, just let me take them all down with me." And the answer I got was, "No, I'll take care of them." You know what I'm saying? That was satisfying enough for me. Hey, the Lord got my back. That's it. You know, I remember they chopped off my rod. I saw myself bleeding. And I was laying there just bleeding. I could see myself bleeding, but I was still alive. You know, because the spirit that was within, I was like, "No, I'm not going to give up. I'm not going to give up." You know? And I remember a couple of weeks ago, the Elder Malcolm even did a video. He said his daughter had a dream that he got arrested, that he got sent in, right? And then they were like pressing him, beating on him, or whatever. And then he kept saying, "He's coming, he's coming, he's coming." And then his eyes started to glow. You know what I'm saying? That's that faith, man. That's that spiritual power. That's what's next. You know, it tells you in Isaiah 59:19 that when the enemy shall come in like a flood, the Lord is going to lift up a standard against them. Man. So we know all these things, but when the time comes, our faith is going to be tested. Like, all right, well, we have the word within us, but now it has to be enacted, right? So just like Daniel did, that faith in Yahweh Shai is going to carry you to the point where the lions, scriptures tell you that the angel came and shut the lion's mouth, right? To the point where Nebuchadnezzar came in and he was looking, he's like, oh shit, Daniel, you're still alive. Oh my goodness. You know, your God is the one that saved you. You know what I'm saying? Your God, Yahweh Shai, is the living God because of what Daniel had to go through. So for the Lord's name to be glorified, we're going to have to go through some shit and go through it and pass the test, man. You know what I'm saying? But we're going to pass it. Brothers got to believe we're going to pass it, man. You know, we're not alone. He's going to say he's going to keep us in our temptation. You know what I'm saying? So, hey, the test is going to come. But guess what? The spirit within us is going to prevail, man. You know, but I just want to add that to God.
I didn't say that. Oh. God.
Yeah, something like that. People. Just gonna pretty much sum up everything that you and brothers are going into. I know you're going into the 11th month for 35th verse. Since Hebrews chapter 11, verse 35, it says, "Women received their dead raised to life again, and others were tortured, not accepting deliverance that they might obtain a better resurrection." The NLT as well says, "Women received their loved ones back again from the dead, but others were tortured, refusing to turn from the Heavenly Father in order to be set free. They placed their hope in a better life after the resurrection." Basically, it's going into everything that you say, pretty much until death, like the Bible says.
Right. Yep. And ultimately, hey, like you were even bringing up about how they made a law to basically criminalize Daniel for praying. And you know, if they were to do that today, you could, you know, depending on how you think about it, it really should make you go harder, because when you think in your mind of all the different religions out there, they made a law for us to not pray to Yahweh by Shem Yahweh Shai. So clearly we must be doing something right, because why are you so concerned about that? You know, of all the different, I mean, there's some people that believe in things that are just so ridiculous, downright stupid, but they came and targeted this, you know, which is more motivation. Like, all right, so that means clearly we're doing something right. And this is the same thing they did to the apostles back then, right? They told them to put them in jail. They said, don't teach in that name, specifically in that name.
Appreciate it. I was just going to say, really, when you think about it, what they're doing really is like boosting the faith, because like, imagine this. If you leave a person alone, they're going to be like, yeah, they're not attacking you, they're not doing nothing. It's really the truth. Like, what's going on? I thought the scripture said they were supposed to do this. If they left us alone, you might start thinking, is this really the truth or anything? But when they attack you and they do things, it's like, oh, this must really be the truth, because you see the things being fulfilled. So it's like with the I'll give the example, like the FBI thing. What was that, like?
Yeah, 2019.
Okay. Yeah, that really boosted my faith. I was like, oh, scripture spoke about that type of stuff. So, but if they didn't come, I would have been like,
Second Maccabees 6, verse 6. It says, "Neither was it lawful for a man to keep Sabbath days or ancient feasts, or to profess himself at all to be a Jew." So, hey, this in multiple different kingdoms, this was a common theme.
Yep.
So if this is Babylon the Great, right, the rebirth of the Greco-Roman, you know, culture empire, and they did that back in ancient Babylon, right, with Daniel. They did it during the Grecian Empire. You don't think that they're going to definitely do it now during this time? You know, he's definitely going to do it. And we see the makings. We see that in the makings right now. That's why going back to the prudent man foreseeth the evil. And we are able to know that there is no way for us, once again, this is not a carnal battle. This is not a battle of flesh and blood. We're fighting against principalities and against wickedness in high places. So our weapons of war is not trying to, you know, we're not about to go to Congress or go petition in front protesting, say we got our freedom of speech and we want to, you know, the freedom of you know, liberty on internet. Nah, everything they're doing is prophesied. You're only fulfilling prophecy. You know, I was actually researching the definition of self-fulfilling prophecy, and that's what the Lord actually created life. The Lord created life as self-fulfilling prophecy. Everybody is fulfilling prophecies based off of what the Lord already had established, and everything they're doing is just reaffirming that prophecy. Even if they're trying to not do it, it's just reaffirming the prophecies that they are going to do. And the Lord gave us the mind and the gift of actually knowing it. And that is the beautiful part of it. Because these devils, as it says in Obadiah, their mind, their heart has deceived them. So they're thinking that they can stop this word by making all of these laws and legislations and demonizing the truth and all these different things. But they're actually just self-fulfilling prophecy of them actually stopping us. But what is that going to lead to? It's not going to lead to them having being victorious. It's only going to lead to them going down. Every road that they take is only going to lead to them going down. And every road that they take is actually the road that the Lord put them in.
Yeah. Can't take any other road.
That's exactly what happened coming up on the passage. That's exactly what happened with ancient Egypt, right? The Lord told Moses that he's going to harden Pharaoh's heart. And when you look at it, it seemed like Pharaoh had this pride, like, yo, like who's this God, this that I should listen to what you guys gotta say. You niggas got too much time in your hands. That's what y'all talking about. Y'all worship them back to. We'll get some work done, you know? And that's the same spirit now. Like it was like obstacle. The Lord will show him, and then he'll be like, all right, you got it. And then the most part of his heart. And then he turn around, and it almost seemed like, yo, how the hell we gonna get out of this, man? This asshole is out here cursing on us. He cursing us out, he's cursing our God, all these different plagues, and he still say, nah, fuck that, y'all still gonna stay here, these slaves. But ultimately, what happened? The Lord crushed this shit. You crushed them, the whole empire was out of there, man. He took us out of there and destroyed us. That's exactly what's about to happen to this modern day Egypt. You know, it seems like they got everything going, they're bluffing, you know, we got them in servitude. You know what I'm saying? Oh, they're trying to go worship their God, they're talking about how about you, all that. Guess what? We got this new world coming in. We're about to send it all of us. That's what we're about to do. But guess what? The Lord is going to send your Shai down, right? This time around, the second Exodus. And he's going to destroy this whole entire system. This whole entire kingdom is about to be up in flames, man. All right? And there's no hope for, you know, or like maybe 10 years down the line. Nah, scripture says that it's going to be burnt, it's going to fresh. All right? It says the Lord is not going to leave this place neither nor branch, man. All right? So it's not going to be with you know, some you know, like, oh, just a little plague here and there. It's talking about the ultimate plague, which is the missiles, man. Completely decimating the earth, completely, man. Right? So that's what we're looking forward to. Just like the time of Egypt, same thing is coming around again. All right, this time it's gonna be like never before. Like he says, the days are gonna be no longer we're gonna say that the Lord delivered us out of the land of Egypt. Right? It's gonna be that the Lord delivered us out of the land of the north. Okay? There's gonna be a memorial to represent praise to Yahweh Shalom Shah. All right, we can't wait for that. All right, you got it, bros.
That's it. Well, we got that. All right, we get to Hebrews.
First Maccabees 2:50. Now therefore, my sons, be ye zealous for the law, and give your lives for the covenant of your fathers. Call to remembrance what acts our fathers did in their time. So shall ye receive great honor and an everlasting name. Was not Abraham found faithful in temptation, and it was imputed unto him for righteousness? Joseph in the time of his distress.
Yeah, and that's a key part right there, right? Abraham was found faithful in temptation. And that's what the Lord was looking for. He was looking for that faith when Abraham faced the ultimate temptation. You know, and in his mind, he said, hey, there's none righteous but the Lord. So if he says, take him out, I'm going to take him out. And like you said, he was resolved to go all the way with it. Because if he thought, you know what, I'm going to go up until, you know, I put him on the altar, and then I'm gonna stop and pray to the Lord for some more. The Lord would no, that's not. I said sacrifice him, right? So the Most High, are you sure that's what you? Of course I'm sure that's what he meant. But we got to be like Abraham. We got to be like, who was it, Joseph?
Yeah, Prince Joseph. Joseph, in the time of his distress, kept the commandment.
Right, in the time of his distress. Now Joseph was severely distressed. You know, having been put in that position. Now we don't know what Potiphar's wife looked like. She might have been some fine-ass Ethiopian or some fine-ass Hamite-looking woman, you know, thicker than thick with 3 C's. And she's out here trying to, you know, grab, I mean, to the point where she actually grabbed it, you know, and you know he had to be, you know, nimble with it. You know, he got out that garment, altruistic, you know, but it was tough. But, you know, hey, you imagine putting Jake today in that situation. She wouldn't even need to grab it, you know. here come a vineyard, master's gone. You know, because it said that Joseph was good looking. You know, so you see, probably had a good build, good build. He's decent looking. But in that situation, he said, "No, I'm not going to do that because that goes against the will of Yahweh by Hashem Yahushai." Now imagine how stressed already he was. He was sold by his own brothers, and now he's a slave in a foreign country. And he's like, regardless of all that, I'm still not gonna do this, even though I know when she frames me, like, when you were a child and you do something wrong, and the second your dad gets home, your ass is done. So like, you can't enjoy anything. You could be playing, and the second that thought comes into your mind, all your mood just goes away. So imagine him waiting until Potiphar comes home, knowing damn well he's about to be framed, and he might even be put to death. But in his distress, what do? He stayed faithful to the Lord.
Joseph, in the time of his distress, kept the commandment and was made Lord of Egypt. Phineas, our father, in being zealous and fervent, obtained the covenant of an everlasting priesthood.
Oh, now, another important thing to keep in mind is the Lord doesn't always deal instantly. And that's another trying part of your faith, because Joseph kept the commandment, but he was in prison for like over 2 years. So now you thinking, Lord, I got sold. You know what I'm saying? I refrained. Hey, that's it. I refrained from this woman, and I end up in jail for that. Now, 2 years is a long time to be in jail for doing something that you were accused of doing. And he's thinking, yo, who's gonna possibly plead my case? Like, I don't know anybody here in Egypt. My family is over there. My dad, they probably think I'm dead or something like that. Who's gonna come and say, this guy right here, you know what, bring him out of prison? He's probably gonna be there for God knows how long. But guess what? You had that faith, and you got to keep that in mind. Don't expect that, oh, the Most High says do this, so the second I do it, you got my back. Well, your test might not end right there. The Lord might say, all right, good, you're supposed to do it. Now keep doing it. Like the MOTV. You get fired from your job today, thinking, oh, okay, Lord, see, I got fired. Now I'm waiting for the food to come. 2-3 days later. You got your bib on, you got the shit you get ready, and you did 2-3 days. The man ain't here. Nothing is here. That's when Jake start. See, that's the real temptation. That's when Jake start bugging out, because they're like, yo, wait, time out. Like you were saying, Solomon, nothing is happening. I put the key, I turned it, and nothing is happening. Because you expect some extravaganza, but you gotta have the mindset of, don't he slay me? So you know what? I'm gonna do it and leave it in the hands of the Lord.
To add to your point, it's the ultimate example of stay down till you get up. Because Joseph was down. He was separated from his brothers. And that's an example for us. You may be separated from the brotherhood. In Jacob's trouble, you might be separated. Or before then, you might be separated. And you got to still maintain that faith that the Lord is with you. That's why the Lord will do that, so you can only rely on him. Ain't no brothers around you. Ain't no brother, hey brother, I need counsel. No, the Lord might put you in a position like Joseph, because that's why it's in there, the things written aforetime before our learning. So you go into it and you see, all right, Joseph was separated, and what did he do? He stayed down. He did not go off to the right or to the left-hand side. He stayed on the path of righteousness. And the Lord did what? He rewarded him and even reunited him with his brothers.
Right.
Hey, Yahweh Shai said, going back to Revelation 2:10, that the devil's going to say, shall cast some of you into prison. And like based off of what the brother just said about Joseph, you may get cast into prison and nobody knows. Nobody knows where you at. You don't know what prison you in. You don't even know what prison you in. They might, throw the little bag over you, put you in the back of the paddy wagon, and take you off somewhere 10 hours. Might fly you somewhere. You can end up in fucking Guantanamo Bay. And nobody can. You try to brother like, yo, where's brother at? You go to the police, the little regular police precinct. Like, nah, we don't got no record of him on there. Now you just by yourself. You mind, you're thinking, oh, how's somebody gonna find me here? Right. Nobody gonna. But hey, yeah, just like how Yahweh Shai said that he wasn't alone when he had to go through his thing. We're not alone, because Yahweh Shai said that he's with us always, even to the end of the earth. That's right. So that's the end of the world. So that's the mindset we have to have, man.
Hey, what's heavy is that even if, like, it'd be better that Yahweh Shai is with you than anybody physical. Right. So even if you're physically alone, the most important one who actually can deliver you, because what if brothers didn't know where you were? What we gonna do? You was inside of Obey. How the hell we gonna get you off?
This ain't fucking the hangover. It's not the hangover. Get a bump.
Harold Kumar
Cock me sandwich.
There ain't none of that.
Everybody's doing that. You know, they ain't gonna have your bill like $500. Like, oh, come get this done. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Breakout player.
yeah. Brother coming in, come underwater from the top and shit. Don't expect that because we're not doing that. We're gonna pray, but ultimately we're gonna pray to the same one that's with you in there.
Right.
You know, so,
Right.
so you're better off for him over there. You know, so really that's why we do the things we do to show the Lord that, look, Lord, no matter what, you know, we're your servants, we're your humble servants. So please remember us when these situations come upon us. And the one thing that really keeps you calm and grounded is, you know what? I didn't end up here by accident. The Lord put me here. He literally brought me here for a reason.
And that's why it's so important to meditate upon these things.
Right.
You know, to think about these things, because when you're thinking about them, if you just try to start thinking about them back, like when it's actually happening, your mind, you're going to have a whole bunch of different doubts and thoughts, like, you know, what if I'm wicked? What if I'm this? What if I'm that? You know, but if you're meditating upon this now and you're doing the work, that's why it says you shall escape by the faith and by your work, whereby you should be saved. You could think you're going to be saved, but if you ain't put the work in and you're in that position, like, why would the Lord save me? But if you already put the work in and then you have established your faith as well, when you're in that position, you're like, why wouldn't the Lord save me? You see how it changes. Why wouldn't the Lord save me? Why wouldn't the Lord save me? You know, and that's what the Lord wants to see, that you got the faith of, why wouldn't you save me?
Dude.
First Maccabees 2:55. Joshua, for fulfilling the word, was made a judge in Israel. Caleb, for bearing witness before the congregation, received the heritage of the land. And Caleb bare witness by giving a good report when he went to spy out the land with Joshua. So it mentioned Joshua and Caleb in tandem because they went and saw it and looked out the land. And when they came to bear witness before the congregation, they gave a good report, just like we're giving. We're telling you through the spirit and power of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua, a good report that the Lord is going to take this place down. We're going to get victory. So you got other people out there that don't have a victorious mindset. And that's why they're not going to receive that victory.
They self-fulfilling prophecy.
Right.
You got people that don't believe that they could be saved. So that prophecy is going to be fulfilled in themselves. Why do you think a lot of people want to take the Quran? It's because they don't believe that there's any other way to escape these things.
Like that saying that people who say I can and people who say I can are both usually right. Right.
First Maccabees 2:57. David, for being merciful, possessed the throne of an everlasting kingdom. Elias, which is Elijah, Elias, for being zealous and fervent for the law, was taken up into heaven. Ananias,
It's a beautiful thing, man. I mean, damn. Imagine that. Lord said, you ain't even going, you know, I mean, to be fair, Elijah was put through a lot, you know, to the point where he requested the Lord take him up to earth. Said, Lord, look, just about you done got all the prophets she wants me to. You know, these people, they're all wicked and stuff. You know, why am I here? You know, what more can I do? Just take me out. You know, the Lord said, no, you're gonna do.
after he had done that sacrifice where he made him wet the wood, and then the Lord brought the fire down, and he's like, man, surely this is going to do it for you. Like, if you don't believe after this, and what, you know, he slayed the prophets of Baal, did all that, and they still went back to idolatry. So it's like the same thing we deal with. You know, the Lord is showing you a miracle through us waking up and being on the same accord, but yet they still want to go back to the church. They still want to be in the house of Baal. You know, they still want to be in the house of idols. Right? So you can get why Elijah felt that way. Elijah was discouraged at points, you know. Well, look at his latter end. What was it? He was received unto glory. Reading on, it says, Ananias, Azarias, and Mishael, by believing, were saved out of the flame.
That's the three holy children that you hear of in the book of Daniel. You think you have that?
Based upon prophets bringing out the words, and there's Ezekiel 37.
Lift up your voice a little bit.
Oh yeah, I was saying about how it was like Isaiah the prophet as well as Ezekiel the prophet bringing out the word. This is Ezekiel 37, verse starting from 3. And the Lord said unto Ezekiel, and he said unto me, Son of man, can these bones live? And I answered, O Lord, thou knowest. Again he said, verse 4, again he said unto me, prophesy upon these bones, and say unto them, O ye dry bones, hear the word of the Lord. So he was telling Ezekiel to prophesy unto their bones.
Hey, that was us. You know, the Lord showed Ezekiel us in America, and he said, "Can these dry bones live?" Because before the truth, that's what we were.
Right.
You know, we were dead. We were dry bones, and it's through the prophesying, hearing of the word. That's why I said, prophesying to them, "Thus saith the Lord," and then that's how we came alive. You know, through the preaching of the gospel of Yahweh Bashem Shai, that prophecy was fulfilled in us, and that is proof that the Lord's word, it does not go out void.
Right. And this time is when we got that sign, you know, with joining the two tribes together. Because remember, it wasn't just that the southern kingdom and the northern kingdom were split, but remember, at some point, the southern kingdom were looking at them as like we're it's just us, you know, we're the nation, you know, and even those that are part of the southern kingdom that went to the heathenistic ways, they ain't part of us. It's just us, the circumcision, you know. So it got to a point where they didn't even accept the rest of the rest of the tribes, and that's why in this time, that's why Yahushua had to do what he had to do. He had to send the apostle Paul to do what he got to do, and that's why now we got the whole collective truth, you know. So now we got the complete thing, and then you know, and now you see those bones join into themselves, you know.
And you also have the Israelites that don't look like Israelites, you know, the ones that look like other nations. That's all got fulfilled during this time, you know. And it's only through faith that you can believe that you got Israelites that are scattered throughout the four corners of earth, looking like other nations, looking like other people.
You got it, bro.
And I was going to say that that's even today, right? That's just years ago. Take dark skin Jake, look at light skin Jake, it's like a completely different way. You know what I'm saying? Like light skin, like that, you know, and that takes that without knowing the truth. You look at Northern Kingdom and be like, oh yeah, y'all niggas is white. You know, y'all want to be white. You know, so they treat them different. You know what I'm saying? So that division has always been there. It's always been there. That the Lord definitely separated the nation, divided us. But that shit has always been there, man. You know, but now he's bringing us together, known as the house of David, the tabernacle of David, which is the elect. The elect don't look at color, like Elder said. We can see through it. We're looking at the spirit, right? We can see somebody be like a non-spiritual Israelite will see another Israelite be like, oh, this nigga is he a Chinese nigga. But we'll see the same so-called Chinese nigga and be like, oh, that's an Israelite. You know, based on the spirit that he has, not based on the look. You know, the look is just a thing that the Lord used as a form of confusion. You know what I'm saying? But other than that, the spirit itself is the one who bears witness.
Stop.
You know, even when you look at Jake that come from the western parts of Africa or different parts of non-American lands, I should say, when they come over here, they look at the Jake over here as different. You know what I'm saying? You've got a Jake that you could trace his lineage go back to Nigeria or Ghana or whatever. You come over here and look at a Jake over here that's been there for 30 years, whatever the case may be, and be like, oh, y'all are Akata, right? Or y'all are, you know, you guys are different. You know, but it's the same people. You trace their line, they go back to the same people. I was listening to a song the other day by Big Sean, and he was saying, you know, his Nigerian roots. And I'm like, here it is. Like, you go 20, 30 years ago, Jake wasn't trying to push that type of mindset. Like, oh, I got Nigerian roots, or I got Ghanaian roots, or whatever the case may be. But now they all assimilated. You know, they're using music. You got all these Afrobeat musicians from Africa coming over here and making it big. You know, and it's becoming mainstream. You know what I'm saying? They look at themselves as the same. You got a Jake from Nigeria who got an accent, but his music is on point to the point where Jake over here is making good accent. You know what I'm saying? So what's going on with that? If we're not the same people, how we got the same rhythm? Why we playing to the same beat and listen to the same music and jamming to the same type of culture? You know, what's going on with that? You see? So all these little things people might not pay attention to. But guess what? Esau's looking at it as a threat to him. He's like, yo, these people are coming together, whether it be awakening to the fact that they're the same people, just dispersed, or, you know, the culture is bringing them together. What if the truth comes in there and they start calling themselves Israelites? Now what? What are we going to do then? You see, so these days are on a whole other level of threatened, stressed out. They're losing sleep, they're losing hair, you know, and they're losing their life. The Rothschilds dying and shit. And these niggas all they're losing stress. They're losing sleep and getting stress. You know what I'm saying? This guy, Jonathan Greenblatt, that clown, you know, he came out and said that they gotta put a stop to TikTok. He's like, we gotta have this under control. You know the word he used? He said ASAP. That means that this is like immediate. We gotta make sure we on top of this shit right now because these niggas is waking up. And they're waking up to who they are and we are. That's a problem. You see what I'm saying? So the Lord is definitely bringing us all back, man. So all that color shit, that shit is all dead, bro. That shit is all dead, man. I saw a video Pastor Hall today going to somebody, I believe they're from Nigeria, and they left Nigeria so they can come over here and practice the happy lifestyle. Because over there, they'll stone you guys, right? That goes to show you that Jake is also keeping some of the customs going back to ancient Israel. You know, it's all biblical. You see what I'm saying? But they escaped that to come over here so they can practice that bullshit. But guess what? When Jake leaves these other countries and they come over here, where do they end up at? They end up in the same location that Jake Lee had over here. Whether it be, if you're in New York, they'd be in the Bronx, they'd be in Brooklyn. You know, where Jake is at, that's where they'd be at. They might have a little accent, but they do the same shit. They eat the same food, they listen to the same music, they work the same areas, right? They get treated the same, right? So it's the same people. Just again, they have the little differences, the language barriers, and all kinds of different shit, but it's the same people. You know what I'm saying? The Lord is bringing us all back to the spirit. They let us go. Got it.
Yeah, somebody go ahead. I was just gonna say, forgot what verse it is, but keep reading on. It says, "You shall know that I am the Lord when I have raised you up out of your grave." So just to let you know that this thing is not of us, like in the Black Panther movement. This glory goes to the Heavenly Father that has given us His Spirit to know Him and to know the Scriptures. Right.
Back in 1 Maccabees 2 and verse 60, Daniel, for his innocency, was delivered from the mouth of lions. And thus consider ye throughout all ages that none that put their trust in him shall be overcome. Fear not then the words of a sinful man.
Yeah, just who Esau. You know, don't fear the words of a sinful man. Don't fear. It said, I was that in Psalms, they shoot in secret. They shoot in secret at the perfect. You know, with bitter words. How do they do that? By way of all of their laws and their tactics that they're trying to create to come up against us. They're trying to fear us into submission. But the Lord didn't give us the spirit of fear. See, fear is an actual spirit. You know, it's an actual spirit that a lot of people in this world here in Babylon, they actually had. That's why I believe in the book of Hebrews, it says that in all their life, they was in bondage over him that had by the devil who had the power over death. You see, that's why a lot of our people they go down into the ways of Esau because they fear the death that Esau could bring upon. But the Lord didn't give us that spirit. Scripture says, "What they love not their lives into the death." If we don't fear death, then really there's nothing to fear. You can't do anything else. If you can't put the fear of death in somebody, then what else are you gonna do to them? You know, and that's why the resurrection is so powerful, because even if you put us to death, we know that that's not the end of it. We know that you still can't win, even if you put us to death. Because the Lord, we serve the power of the living. We serve the power that can raise the dead. And that's what Yahweh Shai embodies. Being put to death wrongfully, because that's what, if brothers in the truth get put to death, it's going to be it's going to be wrongful. And the fact that Yahweh Shai's blood covers us, therefore now we are innocent. And just like how Yahweh Shai was raised, because Yahweh Shai really broke the code. The code is the wages of sin is death. He got put to death, but he didn't sin. Yahweh had to raise him and give him immortality. So that's the same position that we're in. That's why I said they overcame him by the blood of the Lamb and by the word of this testament. Yahweh Shai cleanses us, so now we're what? Pure, right? We're without guile, and if you put us to death, we're innocent. The Lord therefore got to raise us up. That's why I said the dead in Yahweh Shai shall raise first. Okay, so it says, "Fear not the words of a sinful man." Got it.
For his glory shall be dung and worms.
Hey, you have destruction. Isaiah the 14th chapter. Worms shall cover thee.
Today he shall be lifted up, and tomorrow he shall not be found.
Yep. The triumphing of the wicked is but yet for a moment. Okay, so he may be lifted up, and the beautiful thing is we're actually seeing him coming down. Esau, the devil, has already reached his pinnacle. There isn't a higher point that you can reach. You've already reached the highest mountain that you can get to. And now you're doing all these other things. You're trying to bring out the MOTV and all those these other things. Is really because you're afraid. You're afraid of what's to come. So now you're trying to push a totalitarian system, society, to hold on to your system. But that is only going to further your downfall and actually cement it.
Because he is returned unto his dust, and his thought is come to nothing. Wherefore, ye my sons, be valiant, and shew yourselves men in the behalf of the law, for by it shall ye obtain glory.
Yep. Beautiful. Nothing?
Yeah, I just wanted to bring this up because
No. Oh, Hebrews chapter 11.
yeah, I just want to bring this out, basically going into why Yahushua basically taught us not to fear death. I'm gonna read this in the GNT. This is Revelation chapter 1 and verse 18 in the GNT. It says, "I am the living one. I was dead, but now I am alive forever, and I have authority over death and the world of the dead." And when you go into that word, actually I have to check it. I know it's Kleist, but I forgot which word it is. I think it's keys. So
Yeah, I think it is keys. Keys over life and
yeah,
death.
keys. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Right. It says metaphor in the NLT. I'm sorry, in the NT to denote power and authority of various kinds. So that's why when you read in the second chapter, why Yahushua said, "Be faithful unto death." Why? Because he has authority over life and death. If you die for him, like the elder was saying, and you're innocent, I could just raise you back up. I have that power. Remember, he said, "What? All power and authority is given unto me in heaven and in earth." So I have power that those who are underneath me. Because what? If you remember, he called the Lord's warring where those men. He called the elect his friends. So it's like, think about it, you do anything to your friends. You know, if I see my homie die, you'll get your ass back up.
That's it. Rebound.
Like it shows you the book of Clarence. If you watch it, the last scene, the character who played Yahushua, Clarence wasn't a believer the whole time, but right before he died, that's when he believed. And they showed him dying, and they showed Yahushua, they showed the man who played Yahushua going into the sepulcher, and he just like put his hand over him, and he said, "Clarence, rise." And he just woke up. And then, remember, the whole entire time, Clarence didn't believe that he was the Messiah. But as soon as he rose up and he saw him, first name, "My Lord," because at that point, you just got rose from you died, and you just got rose from the dead. What else you gonna call this man? Like, you definitely my Lord. And going into that word keys is interesting because what does the key do? It unlocks things, or it opens up a door to somewhere that somebody can't get you. And that's what death really is, right? Death is you can't. They say Ecclesiastes 8th chapter, no man has power over the spirits or retaining in the day of death. Besides Yahushua, he actually has power over the spirit to bring it back. So that's why he said, I have the keys to death. I can open up the door of death and tell your spirit that come back to life.
That even goes, tying to Ezekiel 37, because essentially we're in the grave. You think about it, we were locked in a box essentially. But what? With the Lord giving us that spirit, he has that authority. He took us out of there. Like I said earlier, well, like it says in Ezekiel 37, what? You shall know that I am the Lord when I raise you up out of your graves. Because essentially, you think like even a casket kind of has like a door on it, essentially. When you open it up, when the person comes out, they're raised back from the dead. But this is spiritual life.
Revelation 11th chapter. We said that they rejoice over their dead bodies. Spiritual. Because the first thing, it's the spirit that quickened it. So you can be alive. That's why right now Esau don't really, he still kills Jake, But he doesn't really have to go around killing Jake no more because majority of Jake is already dead. They're spiritually they're dead. So you can. That's all I always say. Esau created niggas. These people that you see right now, Jake that you see walking around right now, they are literally products of Esau. That's why Yahweh Shah said, "You have your father the devil." So he don't have to go around just killing Jake anymore. He already destroyed you on the wilderness letters, you know. But Yahweh Shai, he through his sacrifice and raising us, unlocking those seals of the scriptures, which is the life, we got risen up from that dead state spiritually. And if you can raise up you spiritually, the best believe the carnal's easy. It's easier to revive. Esau got power to revive somebody's body. Not power, but through the whole resuscitation, the shock and shit, right? But spiritually, that comes from the heavens, man.
Right. Yeah, pretty sad.
No, I think. Revelation chapter 11, verse 8, it says, "And their dead bodies shall lie in the street of the great city, which is spiritually called Sodom and Egypt."
Hey, that's America, man. Spiritually, Sodom and Egypt. Egypt represents bondage, and Sodom, we even know the history of what was going on in that land in Sodom. And that's what's promoted here. Like the brother Aaron just said, you got God from Nigeria left his home country, right? And left his motherland, the country all his relatives and everybody's at, to come to Babylon to practice an abominable lifestyle, a sodomy lifestyle, man. You get liberty here in this place to do that. And they actually give you benefits.
Right.
They force the people to actually learn or to accept their ways. In your job, you got to take classes and training courses on that type of being. Like, come on.
That shit.
And you got to do what? You got to actually, in order to pass the class, you got to actually sympathize with it.
Yep. Answer the right.
Answer it the right way. And then Esau can accuse of our brother. You see, he was happy. He said that he would do this, and that with that. He said that he would be friends with those type of birds. They wicked.
Yep. Yo.
You don't want them to be your people.
Crazy.
But you
that's why in Revelation, the 18th chapter, it talks about America being the habitation of devils and
unclean spirits.
The habitation of every foul and unclean spirit.
Yep.
Right? So that's America. Like they like you said, they teach you the opposite of life. They promote that shit. Like I was talking to my mother the other day, she was like, here it is. And she's seeing it now. That's crazy, right? She's a woman, and she sees it. And she was saying, she's like, people in Ghana, they are pushing back against the alphabet agenda. And they say their reasoning is, look, we have our own beliefs. We're Israelites. They coming out outright just saying, they said, listen, we're the sons of Jacob, descendants of Jacob. And and they're saying that, look, our custom and our culture teaches polygamy. But you niggas teach this alphabet lifestyle. How come we can't tell you that you gotta promote and accept polygamy in your country? We can't do that. We can't send, hey, listen, you know what? In order for us to accept the LGBTQ people, you gotta also accept polygamy. Men can have multiple women and then move on from there. But you're not gonna do that. But you're gonna push and promote this type of wicked ass lifestyle and push on everybody else to accept it. Nah, that ain't gonna happen. So whatever y'all wanna do, y'all can do on your end, but we're not taking that over here. So that's a problem right there. And that's again, the nations are waking up to Esau's bullshit. The Lord tells us, Isaiah 14, it says, they shall narrowly look upon him and say, is this the man that weakened the nations? Right? All that deception since the Renaissance period, man, all that veiled deception has led to this point where people are starting to accept this type of bullshit. You know what I'm saying? That we're the only ones that are resisting this type of bullshit. And that's why we have problems. That's why they label us anti-Semitic, which is a stupid ass made up word, which really should be eliminated from the English language. All right? Because guess what? It's just a smear word. It's just a word that they came up with to come up against anyone who stands up against their stupid ass agendas, man. That's all it is. All right? They label their own people anti-Semitism for anyone who comes against their agenda. How about that? Just to show you that shit doesn't mean anything. Okay? But the point is, let me get that real quick. Revelation 18. In verse 2, it says, and he cried mightily with a strong voice, saying, Babylon the Great is fallen. What made America great? The Israelites made America great, man. Look at all these, look at the name America has. It's based on Israel, man. It's based on the Israelites, the so-called blacks, Latinos, Native Americans. Going back to slavery and even post-slavery. Look at, when you look at the Olympics, you got Jake competing against Jake, but in 2 different countries. A Jamaican versus an American. But guess what? They all look the same. Dark-skinned people going at it against each other. And then you got one that's Team USA versus Team Jamaica. And they go there. If you watch the Olympics and they're racing, you're like, yo, fuck, like this is 2 Jakes. Why they fighting? Why they racing against each other? But guess what? The American wins. And America's #1, this and that. Who made America great? Israelites did, man. You don't see no Edomite racing against a Jamaican. They blow him out the water. They're not going to put themselves out there. They put Jake to do that so they can be great and take the credit for it. A lot of these inventions that people are using today that made America stand out and make all this money is because of Jake. All right? So once the truth comes out, they live with you all kinds of shit. But it's all over. It says what? It says Babylon the Great is fallen. It's fallen. And it's become the habitation of devils. That's why you start to see a lot more. The more America falls and becomes more of a decay and a degenerate place, the more you see this demonic, satanic shit being pushed to the forefront, man. Lately, as we've seen America go down, what you see the most being pushed? This whole LGBT shit. Okay? Was it last week or 2 weeks ago? The Oscars, you got this nigga John Cena walking on stage, butt ass naked, sign in front of covering his genitals. What the fuck is going on, man? Like, and nobody's going on. They clap it and they think it's funny and it's cute. The Lord's going to bring heavy judgment upon this place, man. And then you turn around, this nigga is dressed in a skirt, and then he got a ponytail, like a little school man. What the fuck is going on, bro? You know what I'm saying? The Lord is imposing all this shit, and it's all being these Jays. They're the ones behind all this shit. They own all this stuff. The Hollywood, the movies, all the they own it. And it's written in their tongue. They actually believe these things, man. This whole pedophilia rings and all this, little children being molested and all this. These niggas is behind all that, man. All right? So it says, and it's become the habitation of devils and the hold of every foul spirit and the cage of every unclean and hateful bird. So the hold of every foul spirit. That's why America pushes all this foul bullshit, man. You know, it's all it comes from this place, man. And that's why the Lord's destroy this place, man. We can't wait for that. All right? Every single day. It's like I feel bad for the elder, man. You know, you got a son who's in the school system. You gotta imagine the shit he gotta deal. You know, coming home and it's like the kid wanna celebrate Christmas, and you're like, no, we don't do that shit over here. And you gotta go through all these obstacles just to do the right thing. Why? You know what I'm saying? Like I was watching I read an article today, and they say that Meta is saying that there's 100,000 children get sexually harassed every single day. 100,000 children? Like what's going on? And then you wonder, it's like, oh, where the parents at? Where the parents at? You know what I'm saying? You gotta protect your kids, bro. You can't leave your kids to be, they so we just don't leave like that. You see the shit that they're teaching these kids in school now? They're teaching them all kinds of weirdo shit. It's coming out now, and they banning parents who speak against it and so on and so forth. That's a sign, telltale sign that this place is about to get better. A place that was built on so-called biblical principles, now they're trying to ban the Bible. That should tell you everything you need to know. Okay? So we're the bad guys for highlighting all the folly and all the bullshit that's happening over here. No, we're not the bad guys. All right? We're not the bad guys. We're highlighting the bad guys, and they turn around and tell you that we're the bad guys. All right? But the judgment that's coming upon this place, that's why it is what it is, man. Fire, destruction, okay? And this place is going to be laid out desolate, man. All right? The troubles, the pain, the suffering, everything that's coming is because you niggas, you people in this world accept this shit. Okay? You promote this shit. You uphold it. You know, you give consent onto it because you don't speak against it, man. You know what I'm saying? And guess what? The scriptures tell you that they that consent onto them shall be had in derision. So you played along with it, talking about all the sloppy stuff, they're gonna come get you too. You know, and that's why the Lord sent us out here to give that warning. There's not much time left, man. There's not much time left. All right? You got it, bro.
Yeah. You know, but yeah, man, definitely, that's ultimately why the Lord is going to bring that judgment. You know, because there's no other place to go. There's nothing left. You know, like the Lord has literally left them to their devices. You figure out a solution. Everybody came up with a solution. Everything just made things worse and worse and worse. So now it's time for a reset, you know. And this time the Lord is gonna have it to where He's gonna reset it, and then He's gonna keep it that way, you know, by instilling us, making us perfect, so we don't go off, and then keeping us up top, because that way the wicked won't be in rule, and if the wicked are in the rule, then the world will be righteous.
And that's why the scripture says that their hurtful works are fulfilled. When you look at the way Esau society is ran and how his angels and these other nations have drunk of his wine, it's just hurtful works everywhere you look at. There's nowhere that's peaceful, that's calm. Like, oh, that's just a nice, safe, peaceful nation.
Right.
Everything is just is corruptible. Everything is violent. Everything leads to death. Why you think cancer is at an all-time high? People are just sick. Can't even walk up a flight of stairs. like why? Why is, I never understood, why is cigarettes actually legal?
Mhm.
Like that, how is that legal? And how is that a multi-billion-dollar company? Industry. Every work that Esau has created is hurtful. You don't create anything that is actually brings forth life. And the Lord had it to where now this is the worst it's ever been. And the Lord said their hurtful works are fulfilled.
I mean, yeah, just to add to the elder's point, it goes to show you the hypocrisy of the so-called white man, because he shut down the whole world to so-called protect people, but then they're still selling you shit that destroys your health, cigarettes. He cares so much that he shut down the whole world, but he didn't care enough to ban cigarettes, which is shown to be toxic and obviously cancerous. GMOs, all this shit, he's still pushing it, but we care so much. We're gonna keep the liquor store and the bodega open and still sell you some poison, but we care about you. See, that's why this devil's gonna pay, man. That's why he's gonna have 1,000 years of the harsh captivity known to man.
Hey, and then when he opened it back up, he gave you that dragon juice that got people all twisted in the head, sending them to the spirit world. You can't. Hey, the devil comes out with still kill and destroy. Right? That's it. You're not going to get anything else out of this devil's rulership, man. It's just 1,000 ways to die. That's what his kingdom should have been called. The kingdom of 1,000 ways to die.
Because he ain't gonna show up, like you said. He comes not but to kill, steal, and destroy. So he ain't gonna show up unless he's coming to kill, steal, or destroy. And so when you see him show up, that's exactly what he's there for. And if he's always around, then that means that whatever the killing, destroying, and then stealing is what's going on. And yet every single time people fall for it. They see the shit he just did, like the whole shit. I mean, what's the name? Bert and Fauci themselves confessed to all this shit not being backed by anything. They just threw it out there, hoping whatever sticks to the wall sticks. The articles are out there, people have heard of it, and yet the next big thing comes and they run right to them. Through.
Hey, you got the beast. The serpent was the most subtle beast in all the field.
Right.
That's how they do it. It's through their subtlety. They're wise to do evil. They're really shrewd in left hand practices. The water. They're enchantments. It's literally an enchantment. But the scripture says there's no enchantment against Jacob, the God of Israel, or the Israel of God. Those are the only ones that are not really enchanted fully, completely by this devil. Because you even got some, truthers that still believe that there's a way for them or their, Edomites to actually be good people, and if they take out the wicked, the cabal, and they come up and they're it's the same seed. It's only Israel that's why the Yahweh Shai is going to come and establish the kingdom of Israel. It's only through the Israelites that the kingdom, that the world will be peaceful. Right? The scripture says that his government shall be of its increase of his government. There should be no peace. There should be no end. Increase in the peace of his government. There should be no end.
And like you said, man, if they were to take out the wicked of their people, they come right back. Where did the wicked of their people generate from? The same seed. So you take them out, guess what? They're gonna get reincarnated again, and their wickedness doesn't come from their flesh; it comes from their spirit. So they're just gonna come back in another body, and they're gonna do the same thing because that's what they're inclined to do. And it makes sense why the Lord has to put that has to establish that new covenant and put the laws within us, because then the wicked of our people would always come back doing the same shit. The problem is what needs to be changed. you know, and that's what's within. And once that's changed, you know, then we're gonna be all good again.
Yep. Hey, and that goes to show you how Esau is. We go back to get the scriptures. Shows you that his pseudo miracles, those miracles aren't really miracles,
Right.
because he's not actually solving the problem. When you got somebody with Alzheimer's or somebody that can't see, the problem isn't that you can put a device on their brain and manipulate their body to be able to, you know, get false images or put images in your body. They're not fixing the actual brain. They're not fixing your neurons and whatever, you know, how the science is to connect for your eyes to see. They're not fixing that, because as soon as you take the device that they put in you out, then you're blind again.
Yep.
Yeah, the problem's still there.
Yep.
That's why it's a deception, because they're appealing to the carnal. They're appealing to the, I can see because of this thing.
Right.
Well, you didn't get healed.
Right.
That's what Esau doesn't do. He doesn't heal you.
Yep, that thing didn't give you something in the first place. And it's actually very interesting how, and this goes to show you, for those that say the Most High doesn't exist, you know, you really are very ignorant, because when you look at the way the eye works, you know, it's very when you see an image, it's really flipped upside down, you know, because obviously everything we see are rays of light that come through your eyeball, and in the back of your eyeball is where you have a retina, which is it's actually like a screen. And what happens is all the different lights hit different points on your retina. Your retina flips it upside down and then translates that into images inside of your head, so you can actually see these different pictures and all these things that are going on. You know, so really everything you see is just literally rays of light hitting your eyes at different angles, and that's what forms the images and stuff that you see. For these devils to try and say, okay, you know what? If you can't see, your eye is not doing the job like a camera, because it can also zoom in and focus on things, right? So if your eye is not doing that job, we're gonna bypass your natural retina or your natural functions within your eyeball, and we're gonna just take those images artificially and then take it straight to your brain without going through here. Like you said, that is not fixing the problem. The problem is just there. You're just ignoring it and then going another route. So it doesn't fix the problem, because then when this breaks, now you got two problems in your head. You know what I mean? So he doesn't fix, he just adds on to it, and he does it incomplete, because they don't even understand fully how the human body functions. The so-called laws of physics and all of these things, it only works until it doesn't. And then they got to come up with some new theory as to how this goes and so on and so forth.
Yeah, they show you that all the time. We're like, even like the space or any type of science field, it was like, you know, breakthrough type of knowledge, discovery that just unravels everything that we've known about X, Y, and Z.
Yep.
So all of that research you've been doing from that on out is one little thing that changes everything that you know.
Yep. You gotta change up all the formulas, everything you've been using, you gotta change it all up. You know, so and then that's why the scriptures say man may only know that which is on the earth. That's what the angel. I think that's what the angel told Ezra. You know, because what they try to do is they try to get some formula. They look at how things are moving, and they try to get a math, because all of it is really math. They try to get a mathematical formula to try and explain that. Truth. That's it. That's it. You know, that's what it's all about. But they're doing it without truth. They have a pseudoscience. You know, so theirs is actually false. But they try to look at it. Okay, let's use this formula. Let's try it out. And then they try to go and test it out in space. What business you got? You don't even understand the fullness of the earth, and you want to check out what's going on in space. You know, and that's why it keeps on failing, because the Most High didn't think about how advanced technology is. So they can go super deep on technology. I mean, they've created holographic fans now, to where the fans starts rotating, and it literally displays the hologram like right in front of you. You know, so they have this level of technology, but they can't take that out in space, because the Most High directed that to fulfill prophecy. If you've noticed, the advancement in technology is all being geared towards one main use case, which is going to be those Internet of Bodies, Internet of Things, smart cities, and ultimately that charagma, for it to all work together. This isn't about curing cancer or cleaning the ocean. Their technology is not geared towards that. It's geared towards this, which is to what? Fulfill prophecy. Right. Yep. So I got a quick precept. This is the book of Psalms, chapter 94, verse 20. And it reads, "Shall the throne of iniquity have fellowship with thee, which frameth mischief by a law?"
Yep, the throne of iniquity. That's Esau's kingdom. Mm-hmm. You know, they speak as though they have fellowship with the Lord, right? Oh, this is a God, you know, fearing country, right?
a Christian country will. You go tap into what Christianity was to Esau. That's Satanism, satanic. You know, they wasn't pushing nothing. They wasn't pushing no actual laws, statutes, and commandments of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua. You know, but here it is in this society. They try to portray that they are a God-fearing country, but it's completely the opposite. So it says, shall the throne of iniquity have fellowship with thee that frameth mischief by law. The actual laws that they promote is just evilness, is wickedness. You know, and when you go into that word, we read that, you know, brothers went into it, go into that word frameth, that's actually a precept. When you go into the cross-reference, that precept actually connects to Revelation 13 and 16, because that is a law. He causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a karama. That's going to be a law that you can't actually buy and sell without actually having that karama. And that is a mischievous device. It's a mischievous work that Esau is doing, but he makes it a law, and therefore you are coerced, or you're pushed into actually doing that.
Yep. This is the book of Revelation, chapter 11, verse 18. And that many brothers going to think. It says, and the nations were angry, and thy wrath is come, and the time of the dead that they should be judged, and that thou shouldest give reward unto thy servants the prophets, and to the saints, and them that fear thy name, small and great, and shouldest destroy them which destroy the earth. Oh, and that's pretty much it right there. You know, the Lord, at the end, when all is said and done, Yahushua, like you say, he's going to bring his reward with him to give every man according as his work shall be. So to some, the servants is going to be a reward unto salvation, and to those that aren't serving him, the wicked, and the wicked of our people, is going to be what? Destruction. But mainly here, to destroy them that destroy the earth. Okay? And we know, number one, who's destroying the earth today.
And when you go into that word destroy, it says morally and ethically, the minds of people. Who did that, man? You know, people's minds are so destroyed that they don't even know they're destroyed. You don't even know how bad you destroyed, man. Yeah. Ethically, morals, the morals of this place is so corroded that it has become a laughingstock of the whole world, man. Everybody sees this place, and when you're president, and I always say that's supposed to be the top. They say that's the top office in America, right? You're the president of the United States. That's the top seat of America. When he is being ridiculed and laughed at and mocked, you know, look at smelling little girls' hair and doing all, like, come on, what are you doing? Like, what are you doing right now? But hey, that's the greatest country on the earth.
Yeah.
But see, in America is actually the spearhead of the actual beast system. Wherever America goes, you know, the beast goes.
Yep.
And where the beast goes, basically, you know, that's where the world goes. But now the Lord is stirring up these other nations, these adversaries, to come against the beast, to fulfill the prophecy of Babylon the Great being destroyed.
That's right.
Because the Lord didn't create the world. You know, people always say, you know, the world is always going to have problems in it. It's always that's not how it's supposed to be. What's the point of life if it's always going to be problems? Always, every day, just problems. Come on, the Lord is the God of peace, man. He is also the God of war. But what happens after war? Peace. Peace comes after war.
That's right.
Precept. Sirach 10:1. A wise judge will instruct his people, and the government of a prudent man is well ordered. And it goes to show you that this man's government is completely out of order. And the result of it, like the elder was going into, that it would destroy them that destroy the earth. When there's a moral destruction of the people's mind and the spirit is broken, then you have other things happen as a result. People will fleece the poor. People will destroy, you know, deforestation. They got that garbage patch in the Pacific Ocean 3 times the size of Texas. That's because of corruption and greed. This man cannot be satisfied, man. So the Lord is going to clean up your mess, man. And he's going to clean up you because you're the source of the mess.
Yep. You are the mess.
Yeah, the vessel of wrath fitted to destruction. Right. What we are preaching, the gospel, it's not like, oh, we're just some hateful people. No, we hate evil. There's a specific thing that we hate. Okay, it's not just coming out. We just hate it. No, evil. If Esau was evil, we are hate you.
Right.
But you are evil incarnated. That's what the Lord created you for us to see. That's not how to be. That's it. And then He marked you. It made you how you look, right? And then you flipped it around and made that beautiful. But everything about you, it shows you that you're an actual you're a curse from the earth. You know, me and brothers talking, actual light eyes. Yeah. Esau can't actually look into like being a very high penetrated sun because their eyes actually hurt when they got blue eyes or green eyes or any type of eye. It actually hurts their eyes. That's why you see a lot of Edomites doing with shades, rocking shades, especially when they're driving.
This is right there, literally with the shades on.
Yeah, when they're driving, because of the reflecting of the sun on the glass, it actually hurts their eyes and it actually blinds them. You know, but when they made that, oh, you got blue eyes, it's beautiful. Now, my man, you cursed.
Yeah. Put away.
Yeah. You think about it in the ancient world, you see somebody, let's say during the time of Adam, you see somebody with blue eyes, everybody got melanin. What the fuck is wrong with you?
Yeah.
Like they even show you that in the animal kingdom. Yep. You know, a lot of animals that come out albinos, they get shunned from the pack, or you know, their type of society. They can't even reproduce. They won't female won't reproduce with that type of individual,
right.
You know, creature.
They don't want to spread.
Yep.
To show how much the Lord hates that nation, how angry He is with that nation. Read Isaiah 54:16. And it reads, "Behold, I have created the smith that bloweth the coal and the fire, and that bringeth forth an instrument for the work. And I have created the wait, did I read it right? And I have created the waster to destroy." So it was showing how the Lord created the scientists to create the most terrible weapon, using their own people to destroy them in the worst way. You know, because this is the biggest devastation that the Lord created throughout the judgment of all times. You know, it's going to be the worst time of all of any people. And it's going to be mainly them that feel mercy. That's a righteous indignation.
That's it.
A little more Sirach 10.
Sirach 10:2. As the judge of the people is himself, so are his officers. And what manner of man the ruler of the city is, such are all they that dwell therein. Yeah, Esau Edom. He's the one over this world right now. And that's why everything is descended into chaos. The so-called white man's rulership has demolished life as we know it. Everything is upside down. You know, the children don't even know their own gender anymore. You know, they're confused. People are destroying themselves. You know, people walking up and down. A person come up to us smoking a cigarette, telling us how to preach the word. You know, destroying themselves. They don't even respect themselves enough to not do that. But then they want to try to tell us how to break down the Holy Bible. That's because the man that's ruling is evil. Look at Freaky Joe. That's why you got all these freaks walking around, man. You know, and the weather's getting warmer. These women are going to be scantily clad. You see, they elevate whoredom and bring righteousness low in the society. And that's why the Lord has to completely start everything fresh. Wipe down the whole plate. You know, I think it says in Jeremiah that the Lord will turn the plate upside down, deal with Jacob. But that's what he's going to do. He's going to clean this plate off and start with something new. Sirach 10:3. An unwise king destroyeth his people, but through the prudence of them which are in authority, the city shall be inhabited. Yeah, an unwise king destroyeth his people. Like the brother said, this man created a weapon that is surely for destruction. It has no positive purpose other than to destroy.
Oh, Putin just said something about that. He said that about the nuclear missiles. He said that they were created to be used. Something to that effect, you know? So the Lord has put working on their minds to know, like, yo, I know even before when we first got into truth, we always just say that. Like, the Lord didn't create these weapons, have Esau create these missiles to put them into a museum. No, you created them to use them. But when you use those missiles, when you use those nuclear missiles, it's not like you just use it and the next day, tomorrow, so everything's all just regular. The world as you know it, as they say, is going to be over. It's not going to be nuclear missiles fly like World War I, World War II, where your actual days are going to continue. Yeah, there might be destruction here and there. Everything that you know as life, as you know, is going to be changed. Right? It's not going to be a same, just regular day in the neighborhood after that, man. And we're only getting closer and closer and closer to that. Nuclear talk is being talked about by these kings of this world literally weekly, getting to the point where it's daily. And eventually, it's not going to be talk. It's going to be push the goddamn button.
Like that scene from X-Men Apocalypse. The Russian dude in the submarine, he came into a trance. His eyes was turning glazed. He's just like, turn the key, hit the button. They got that nuclear football. It's a suitcase. I think they showed Putin walking out with it one time. Well, he was walking and somebody behind him had it. So they're letting you know they got it. They're ready to bang. Pretty much.
It's on the go.
That's it. Sirach 10:4. The power of the earth is in the hand of the Lord, and in due time he will set over it one that is profitable. And who is that one that's profitable? Yahweh Shai. Because when he comes to rule, everything is going to be done in order. See, when we, even during the time of the house of David, when David was ruling, we ruled with class, with integrity, with balance. We will honor the things that we say, like the covenant with the Gibeonites. When Saul defied that, David went and avenged them, even though they were heathens. Because we're supposed to be men of our word at the end of the day. And Yahweh Shai is the greatest example of that. But when the Lord comes back, everything's going to be set back to how it is. Like when Thanos, when he snapped the fingers and then he said, I will awaken to a grateful universe. But that's how the Lord Yahweh Shai is coming back. So the Lord, the Heavenly Father, is going to set one over this earth that's profitable, and that's the Lord. So there ain't going to be no more alphabet game. You know, ain't going to be no more garbage patches out in the ocean. Whales beaching themselves. You know, different sea creatures getting caught in plastic nets. They find turtles and different animals, and they open them up. They got different, like, a lot of pieces of plastic inside of their body that they ingested.
They say that humans got millions of plastic, plastic in their bodies right now.
Yeah, microplastic, and that shit gives off estrogen, which makes the people makes men more feminine,
and it's cancerous too.
And cancerous. So who's the real cancer? Esau, Edom. So you people claim to be, oh yeah, you people claim to care about the earth and Earth Day and all this bullshit, but the one that's the cancer on the earth, he has to be cut out. If you had a cancer in your body, wouldn't you do everything in your power to get rid of it? So the same thing the Heavenly Father is going to do to the so-called white man in his kingdom. He's going to cut it out, because that's going to lead to the earth flourishing again. That's it. That was it.
Hey, real quick, earlier this week, there was an article and actually a news thing that came out that Esau is putting chemicals in the water to the point where it's turning the fish's game now, bro. Now, we've been knowing about that, you know, they're putting chemicals in the water and, you know, they're turning lions into sodomites and all this extra shit. You know what I'm saying? But now they're saying that it's to the point where it's in the regular water that people are drinking from the faucet. You know, they got all kinds of hormones and all kinds of different shit that's being flushed into the water stream for people to drink. And they said when they took the sample of the water and they took the fishes, them fishes was turning gay. They were turning female, man. Their male genes was turning to female genes, man. Like, who the fuck sits there to think shit like this? You gotta be a devil to do some shit like that, man. And very soon, man, all this shit was gonna stop. It's gonna be that disrespect. So your Yahweh Shai's name is gonna be put to an end very soon. All right, because there's no way. Back in the ancient times, when the prophet was on the scene, people were scared. All right, they'll ask, "Oh, did you come in peace?" Now the prophets are on the scene, and people want to push us to the corner. You know, oh, yeah, you guys are crazy. You guys are preaching hate. How are we preaching hate, man? You know what I'm what I'm saying? But hey, that's why the fire's gonna come and the Lord's gonna deliver his elect. We're not gonna be here to watch and see, oh Lord, maybe have mercy. No. Fuck that. We're gonna be up there, God willing, we're gonna be watching this place get cooked to a crisp. All right, straight up burnt and cooked all the way to the core, man. That's what we want to see. All right, see this place completely be destroyed. All right, and the Lord, we want to see Esau's face get. Oh God, man. Brothers, if I can bring out a quick precept, man, I'm starting to get a little pissed off.
That's it. Lower
It's a
mic.
book
Wrap
about
it up
Psalm
after
chapter
your precept.
What?
So Lower, wrap it up after your precept.
God. I got two.
Yeah, bring him up. Bro, I don't know precept.
Yeah, calm down a little bit. There's a book of Psalm chapter 82, verse 5 says, "They know not, neither will they understand. They walk on in darkness. All the foundation of the earth are out of course." And that's what the brother Aisha was bringing out, that because of the leadership of this earth, everything is out of course, man. Everything is backwards, upside down. Wicked is all hell. And it's like there's no hope in sight except for the prophets, except for the words of Yahweh Shai. Okay? And we're the only ones who are breathing that spirit of life, breathing the spirit of hope, all right, in salvation. Because without that, we all gonna be cooked out there, man. Every day is a battle to the light, just to do the right thing. All right? Every single day, man. You know what I'm saying? Like shit, we tired of it. All right? We tired. Okay? But hey, soon the rest is coming. The rest is coming, man. All right? Just keep your faith. All right, it's the last precept, and then close it out. There's a book of 2 Thessalonians chapter 2, in verse 3. It says, "Let no man deceive you by any means, for that day shall not come, except there come a falling away first, and that man of sin be revealed, the son of perdition." All right, so we just brought out a whole lot of stuff upon these devils, these Edomites. All right, we keep using the word Esau, Edom. All right, but ultimately, now it's to the point where people are going to start asking, all right, so all the shit that you guys are saying is happening and has been happening that we're witnessing. You guys kept saying Esau, Edom. Who on this earth is actually embodying that, right? They just going to say, oh shit, it's a so-called white man. These niggas behind all this shit. Specifically the Jews, the so-called Jays, man. All right, they're the ones who are behind all this shit, okay? And their judgment is coming too. All right, all that bullshit they've been pushing is all about to be very soon, okay? Continuing. Verse 4, it says, "Who opposeth and exalteth himself above all that is called God, or that is worshipped, so that he as God sitteth in the temple of God, shewing himself that he is God." All right, and that goes all the way back to the time of the Renaissance. Okay, all the way from then till now. All right, tells us in the book of Revelation, the 20th chapter, that Esau, the devil, Satan, is going to be loosed out of his prison for a short time. All right, he's going to go out there to deceive the nations. So everything that we've known, we got to unknow it, unlearn it, so we can get the actual truth, man. Okay? Because all they've done is deceive. Everything that we know about how life is supposed to be is all lies, man. They've been lying to us. All right? They've been lying. All right? Now the truth is all coming out. Now they're bugging out talking about anti this and anti that. All right? Last one here. I'm gonna jump down to verse 8. It says, "And then shall that wicked be revealed," and that's what's happening now. Okay, whom the Lord shall consume the spirit of his mouth, which is the prophets. Okay, the most highest men, prophets of the seed that you see in the houses about this, as we're doing today. Okay, all across the world, we all preaching the same thing. The judgment is coming upon all the great. The Lord is going to deliver his elect, starting with he's going to deliver the nation of Israel, starting with the elect. Okay, continuing, it says, "Whom the Lord Yahweh shall consume with the spirit of his mouth, and shall destroy." Okay? Shall destroy. That word destroyed is going to be highlighted very soon. It's going to be made manifest. All right? He's going to destroy with the brightness of his coming. Okay? And so when Yahushua gets back, man, it's not going to be no playtime and we sitting around and talking and giggling and laughing, man. It's not going to be a laughing matter on that day. Okay? There's going to be tears. All right? There's going to be gnashing of teeth. There's going to be wailing. There's going to be mournings. There's going to be lamentation. There's going to be fire. There's going to be death. All right? There's going to be pain, suffering. That's what's coming. Okay? He's coming with that pain to execute judgment upon the wicked, man. All right? So that's the message, man. Take it or you can leave it. That's what we got for you. All right? You guys, you brothers got it.
Done. Hey, that's it. You know, beautiful point. Brothers got anything else? Perfect. All right, cool. So with that, we're going to end it here. Lord willing, that was edifying to the elect. In closing, we want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, B'chakadosh. Till next time. Shalom.
Shalom.
Shalom to the elect. Shalom to the brothers. Shalom.
That's it.